Let's do this. Morning crowd episode. We'll watch the first match. We'll watch the last match. I didn't really get to watch too much of the matches yesterday. The first match we were warming up and then we were dealing with the whole like trying to get a sub in and figuring out what we were doing. So I didn't really get to watch the Boston match too much. And then after everything happened yesterday with our match, I just didn't feel like being at my setup. So I kind of just fucking took a lap and chilled for the day. So I didn't get to watch too much of the matches, and this will be probably a lot more of a quick episode just because of that reason. But we'll watch some stuff, highlight some stuff. I'm sure you guys can like lead me through like what we need to do. I still have some notes on the matches and stuff if I need it. But yeah, yesterday was a weird day just because we didn't really get to play and shit, and everything that happened. So like, I kind of just fucking went and chilled after that. Yeah, okay. I don't really know what happened in a lot of this, so I'm not gonna act like I do. You know what I mean? We'll break down some situations and shit, but I'm not gonna just lie and act like I fucking know everything here because I didn't really get to watch too much. But we'll still do it. All right, let's get to the keys. Keys to victory: London Royals Ravens start strong on Berlin Hardpoint. Boston outscoring teams 35-8 on the opening Berlin P1s. I wonder if Boston's coming from the preferred side or not with this statistic. Like, I wonder all that stuff. I don't know. Improve first bloods in Bocage SND, 36% of first bloods, 11th, okay. And then fine balance and control, 7 and 3 on Gavutu, 1 and 2 on Tuscan. Really, that's not really like balanced. It just feels like they don't really play Tuscan too much. Yeah, like I feel that that's not like that bad. Obviously, they just play Gavutu way more, but it just seems like they get that in their matches more. You can't always control what you get in your matches if you're not winning coin flips and stuff too, but I see what they mean. Keys to victory, Boston Breach. Continue the hardpoint form, 9-game hardpoint win streak. That comes to an end. Press advantage on Tuscan SND. London last in round win percentage, Boston 5th. Keep improving in control, 5th in round percentage. Okay, nice. We get vetoes beforehand, or is it going to be after the first map? Oh, vetoes beforehand. Let's do it. What time to go to bed? It just depends on the day, man. Sometimes like 10 o'clock. Sometimes on a good day where I'm like, dude, if I'm in bed at 7 p.m. so I can wake up at 4 a.m. for my stream, I'm happy. It never happens, but I wish. All right. Here's the vetoes. Gavutu Hardpoint is played. So what? So they got rid of Tuscan. They got rid of Bocage. They always get rid of Bocage, especially against a team that likes Bocage, aka Boston Breach. And they're really good at Berlin. That makes sense. I wonder, is Boston bad at Tuscan? Is London good at Tuscan? What's London's stats on Tuscan? Hold up. What's London's stats on Tuscan? And what's Boston's stats on Tuscan? London's 5 and 3 on Tuscan. And Boston's 2 and 1 on Tuscan. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, they don't really play Tuscan that much. All right. Let's see. With that being said, okay. Berlin SND, that makes sense. Siege, okay. And then Gavutu. Yeah, these vetoes make perfect sense. I feel like there's no curveballs here really much at all. I feel like these vetoes make sense. Have they ever played Bocage? London? Little Bocage action. They're 0-2 on Bocage this entire year. I don't know when they played it, but they're 0-2. So they don't play it that much. But yeah, no curveballs here. Kind of makes sense. Really nothing too crazy. All right, let's see it. Boston and London. So London wins this map, right? I didn't really watch this too in depth because everything that was going on with our team trying to figure out if we're even playing the next match, the whole fucking thing was happening. But I do know that London starts up 2-0, right?
So these rotations are going to be super important between these two teams. And as we kick off into this one, it seems as if we are not ready to kick off into this one, and maybe just a little beach visit early on in the summer. It's been a little bit of a
okay. Well, they didn't start yet. Oops.
So he's being quite these two teams for it. I think it's
hello. Damn. All right, here we go. All right, break off. Here we go.
Statistics. Whoever wins the rotations typically is doing very, very well for both of these two teams, but it is going to be London to lock in a decent amount of time over towards P1. Boston have notoriously done pretty well on P1 in Berlin. Let's see how they do on Gavutu.
Oh, Nero going straight in. Captain will eventually get it as well. Methods actually ended up killing his own teammate as Afro takes 2 down. And that's a little bit of an aborted break there for Boston. They were looking to try and get into that top ring as quickly and as easily as they can. So what they're now going to probably do is take boat control, ready for that rotation away from London.
See if they can lock it in. It is actually just going to be TJ making his way.
Was this map even close or no? What was the score of this map, Jap?
He'll probably try and work on these streaks if he can. Capsule will end that pretty much momentarily. Well, I mean, the rotation was there for the side of Boston Breach, but London have punched on through.
Slow start at the moment for
No. What was the score of this map? I'm sorry. This map. Not the match. I know that was 3-1. The map, my bad.
That stun really slows them down as well. At the moment, London having it all their own way. Boston trying to get a bit of time here onto boat before we go for this rotation. Wrapping ring, looking for that next rotation themselves.
Yeah, and the thing is for London here, they get so many points.
Not really.
I mean, you don't want to sacrifice much, but you can
215 to 2. That's close enough. I'm sure there's some stuff we can watch. You can watch it.
As soon as they have gotten control, yeah, it's been very, very difficult for
We're gonna skip forward though. Let's see. I just want to see like some turning points of this shit. Oh shit. Okay, there it is. All right. So it goes from like right here. My bad. All right. So this is where London takes off. It looks like what they're about to do is just trap them in the back here. If they win that rotational fight right there, 5 and 3 was really big. If number 5 ends up killing number 1, 2, this would be even fucking easier for them. I don't know if they're gonna. Is he gonna catch him here? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, zero winning these rotational fights is huge because like they're gonna be able to hold this time, like get this scrap time, pin them in the back, and then also get this next kill too. You know what I mean?
Pretty much nailed. Boston would have liked to have tried to get a little bit more map control here. They're gonna go through the boat for the push. It's never fun approaching this one. Trust me, I've done it a million times as a rank player, and it never goes well for me. But methods with that first beam, trying desperately to get somewhere near this hill before they can do anything really. But at the moment, London Royal Ravens are just keeping them at arm's length. They're not letting them get any sort of toehold or numbers where they need them.
Well, they actually have managed to infiltrate just a little bit.
Yeah, dude. But London just executed the fucking like the P3 to P4 like perfection. Like they got all the P3 from the front, and then they get all the P4 basically from the back, and like they're gonna give themselves a massive lead, dude. They played that really well. The only thing is like when you end up in this situation, which is still not a big deal because they got so much points, is like, you know, then you have to just make sure you can try and execute a break on this P5 coming up, right? Let's see. Let's see how they do it. But yeah, no, that was really good play out of London. No, if you get put in the P3 P4 blender, you can find yourself in a huge hole, like because of that. At the same time, it's like Gavutu is a weird map because I feel like the way it's played, you can always mount a pretty crazy comeback if you do it right. Like you're never out of the map on Gavutu if you know what you're doing. Like obviously you can play the map right, but if a team executes like, you know, like the back-to-back hills like that, like money hills like that, it's really, really tough. That was really well played out of them.
Now Nero though, he is getting aggressive up top, but if he can get this control as well, there should be 3 points for the side of Boston Breach. 19 remaining. We're going to be heading over towards P1. There's fights going on over there as well in just a moment. London have gotten a lock in these rotational kills. But just on a touch before we do get over towards P1 again, which is locked in for London. It's very much been about these rotations, but the teams are expanding out. They're making it that you have to get through a couple of waves of the players before you get anywhere near it. And it's making it very, very difficult for the opposing team trying to break to get themselves in.
It certainly has. Well, London have this rotation, and the pressure will come from Boston. But let's find out from the English comms. It's time for the
listening.
Ravens listen in.
Push it off, Joey. Focus your mid. Yeah, one's up, be close. I'm one shot. Oh! I'm one shot. I'll have you deep, Joey. Just focus mid trap. Top broken, we guys. Let me know. Give me up, alright? Give me that comm, okay? Yeah. Listen, one for a tank, you see me? I've got your big cut, okay? I'm giving you up, Joey. Your pink is open. Yeah, I'll give you up, Joey. Narrow, weak. Stairs. They didn't hit him. He went arse at a time. Close right.
Hit it. I'm playing the scrap, bro. He's weak. Let's P1, okay?
I'm needing P1 for you, wait.
Yeah. I want to play hold of it.
I'm top low, guys. I'm top low.
One new guys. No, we're good. Listen, nice. Just have a
I'll
play that phone. I'll play that
teach. You like to play? He's red stairs. He's going their hole, I think. Their hole.
Weak. Methods their hole. They're all, okay?
He might push up the left, okay, as I spawn. Top broken, weak.
Oh my god.
I didn't stand him higher.
Yeah, leave it alight. I've been naded a weekend. Stay on the way.
He's their hole. Okay, I'm the tank. Their hole. He's pushing our hole out.
I'm stunned.
Time dead. Nice.
Watch out, Red. Marcus. Ready, top right, Marcus.
I'm trying to get top right. I'm trying to get it. Top right methods.
Whereabouts?
You stop right behind the stairs.
Three,
Wait,
one,
stand.
low hole, low hole.
Time right methods.
Just in time. That's
No.
Chaotic and fast, the Ravens are feeling the pressure as Boston have come back into this game. It is very, very close between.
I feel like that was more cracked out than normal for London. No,
points on the board. The difference this set of rotations, by the way, is that London are here first.
I feel like that was more cracked out than normal.
Yeah, because London get the spawns over towards the back and they made them.
I feel like they're usually a little bit more calm than that. Not by much. I know they usually, you know, they have good comms. I'm not saying those comms are bad. I just feel like that was faster than normal. Like for them. I liked it though. I like the energy. The comms sounded fine though. Boston just started playing. Boston just started like, you know, kind of lessening the damage on some of these rotations, but it's just the way they played these P3s again. Like this P3 from both like has like been like, I feel like a pretty big deciding factor here for like both times they played. We'll see. They got the initial 20 there, and now even though like they're in a huge fucking like, you know, Boston's kind of got to get the time and also rotate. Like, look, let's see. Yeah.
As London fight for this scrap time bound to this one. What it will do though is put London on the back foot. They will actually be well away from this rotation at any point, even with Nasty getting that scrap.
It's just tough because like I feel like this P3 in the first P3 did really well, and then the second P3 did like they did pretty good, not as good but like good enough. Where it's like it just comes down to the fact now where it's like, you know, if you're Boston, even if you hold all this time from the back, you're gonna have to perform that crazy P5 break. You're just like in a tough spot because you never like Boston never executed like back-to-back kills really perfectly, and like London did that on that first P3 P4. Like that was the turning point of the game, like getting like, you know, those back-to-back 60s in a sense where like they just played both hills really flawlessly. That was like huge for them. And then like the rotational fights that Zero got on that first rotation were big, and then like, you know, now you're here where it's like even though Boston hasn't been playing terrible since then, like Capsule's obviously not having that great game, but like it's just tough because like Boston's just been able to like Boston's just been in a spot where they have to perform like some perfect execution on like two hills to like, you know, get it really good, which is tough stuff. Because like I'm assuming Boston will get a little bit of time here, right? Yeah, and then like they're gonna break through the front, but then they're like, yeah, it doesn't even matter though. It's because like even if Boston does like, you know, perfect this, and even if they got most of the time, they were still gonna have to perform a crazy P5 break and like a rotation and also get scrapped kind of thing. So like London puts himself in a pretty good spot this map by doing that in the first rotation, honestly. That was well played out of them.
I don't think there's going to be anybody here to get it in for the breach here. Capsule's going to have to do this on his own. He needs the rest of the team. He's waiting for them to come through him. Up there goes Capsule. I don't think anyone
Yeah. That was well played out of them, and just in general, like, it's just tough. You see the numbers, obviously. I know, like, apparently Nero was sick as well. And then so he wasn't playing his best. TJ didn't play good. Capsule didn't play good, and obviously Zin plays decent, you know, but it just sucks because the slaying power when Boston, like, you know, was in this position to hold and, like, you know, perform those crazy executions just wasn't there. So they weren't getting those, like, kills or two pieces that they needed to, like, you know, get a two-piece, get scrap time, and rotate kind of thing. And then, like, they just, like, you know, London just seemed, like, pretty much in form. Where, like, when London had the opportunity to take over the game, they took it and ran with it. So that was well played. I didn't get to watch these maps like we talked about, so that was well played. Yeah, that was good. That was good on them. Then Bocage SND. Was this Bocage SND close? Any highlight rounds, chat?
Over towards the back tank. Zero over towards the B side. So they are slowing down both areas of the map that is needed. Good stuff on
The opportunity for a second.
Holy shit. Oh my god, dude. Did they get 6-0'd? Oh, 6-3 London? Okay. Alright. We'll watch them like here. Here we go. Good trades. Afro went off this map. They made a fake comeback. Okay. Trey started with a 1v2. Cool. We'll watch that. We'll go back and watch that after this round. 1v1. There it is. Good trades. All right. You said he starts off with a 1v2. All right. Let's watch it. Let's watch this 1v2. Oh shit. Oh shit. Honestly, that was a good play. So like, look, if you back it up, so let's watch it. Watch it. So Zero's over here by A, right? He's crossing the A. He's trying to, you know, do his thing. Cap sees him. So you see, like, you see that Zero plants this bomb on this, like, on this side, basically with the sole plan to get out and play it from this side. Like, he planned this, like, he planned this really well. Like, Capsule tries to see him. The only thing that's weird here is, like, oh, no, not Capsule, sorry, TJ. TJ does, like, doesn't fully check the bomb, right? If TJ fully checks the bomb here, he's dead. Like, TJ, like, half-ass checks the bomb right here. And he's like, oh, shit. And then, like, Cap kind of sees him run this way. Kind of tough, bro. Because all TJ's doing is trying to... Did TJ look to the left? Hold up. Bro, it looks like TJ even looks at this alley and doesn't see him. You see what I mean? Like, this was crazy. It looks like he looks at this alley and doesn't see him. And, like, Zero gets this timing. And then, like, TJ doesn't think he's doing this wrap because of this right here. It looks like TJ gives it a little left peek just to see, like, yo, is he coming from there? Because, you know, in hindsight, this is an obvious play, right? Because he's trying to play for this tank. Like, you know, Zero was planning this out before he even did it. But, like, you know, TJ doesn't know if he's coming back from tools and going to wrap close, if he's going to go back and actually shoot at Capsule. Like, there's just so many places that, like, this bomb can get checked from with a new site. So, like, honestly, this timing is pretty crazy if TJ actually looks left here. I don't know if he does, but this leads to this. Yeah. And then they line up. Like, even if TJ gets away there, this 1v1 was going to be hard for TJ to win, in my opinion. It looks like he looks left there and doesn't find it. But yeah, so I don't know. This was just, like, unfortunate for Boston right there. That was fucking tough, dude. That kind of set the tone for them to go down to, like, 0-5. But the Zero made a good play there. Zero made, like, the only play he could do there. The only thing that was weird is that TJ didn't fully check that bomb. Like, he didn't, like, check if he was stretching it, but it is what it is. All right. Glide bombs are coming in. Watch it. They lose this round while calling a glide bomb in. What do you think of that, chat? What do you think of that? I feel like that bomb right there was just, like, not used as well as it could have been. You know? It was a waste, but maybe for more info. But, like, you have the info. Like, you can see them cross the B or A. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of have the info. You know, like, that info of them all barn is, like, kind of like you already knew that. You know what I mean? It was interesting. It's also really hard when, I'll say this, like, being a coach, especially, I watch this all the time in scrims and shit. It's very easy to be like, oh, you should have just used the glide bomb at this time and did this and that. You know, it's like, glide bombs are a lot harder than you think to execute perfectly, especially when you can see everything and they can't. So it's, you know, when you're critical of, like, you know, streak usage and stuff, you have to make sure, like, like, you take everything into account. But they definitely probably could have used that a little bit better. Streaks, that's what I mean. Like, streaks aren't, like, you know, yeah, like, there's no, like, glide bombs aren't, like, this crazy overpowered thing where it's like, oh, yeah, this is, you know, this is going to be an automatic round win. You know, you have to use them really, really well. There you go. What the fuck is Trey drinking? Is he just sipping? Is that he's just sipping on? Why do I feel like that looks so weird, dude? Like, no game fuel, like, no. I don't know. He's just sipping right there. Dude, he's just sipping out a straw. He's chilling. Did you think he's sipping on some tea? No way, dude. No way. That's funny. Why is the airstrike G8'd? Because it's fucking horrible. That streak is fucking dog shit. All right, so then they get so let's watch this last round. Large Coke. That's what it looks like, right? Guys vibing. I like it. Oh shit. Good nade. Well played out of Afro. Where's that? So how does that? Let's see. This is the nade. So they just they're all over with fucking nades on methods. Okay, that was a good play. They knew methods played that. Yeah, he got double naded. Yeah, they knew he was playing L kind of thing, and they were making a push to B. So they said like they're gonna throw 2 nades L and then push it. Yeah, that was a good play. Solid. Afro's 13 and 5. Ends this what? What does Afro end this? 14 and 5. Sheesh, dude. I'm telling you, I've been saying this all year. I think Afro's a beast, bro. I think he's so good. I know he's getting the credit he deserves in the sense of like everyone thinks he's good too. So it's not me just saying that and everyone else disagreeing. But I think Afro's so good. But yeah, Afro's been playing well this year. But yeah, good for him. Yeah, that was well played. That 1v2 kind of set the tone of just like how that map probably went. We didn't watch the the first couple rounds, of course, but just in some of the rounds that we watched, it looked like London was in it looked decisive in some of the pushes that they're making. Even like that last round to close it out. That glide bomb probably could have been used better. I mean, there's you can always say they could be used better after watching with Codcaster, but I'm sure they could have closed that out even easier with that glide bomb, and they would have been probably 6-2-ish. But still, good plays. All right, not last map because the Gavutu control. So this was impressive if you're Boston, right? Oh, it's not Gavutu, it's Tuscan. I was just say, I thought what is it? Tuscan control? Am I tripping? Yeah, it's Tuscan. I was gonna say if it was Gavutu, beating London on Gavutu is impressive because I know Boston's like what? Is there one struggle control right now? I feel like Boston's like struggle has been control this year. Let's see, what's their control? Yeah, they're 5 and 10 on control. They're 2 and 7 in Gavutu and 3 and 3 on Tuscan. So it's specifically Gavutu control that they don't look like elite at. Sounds familiar, but yeah. So just in general, I'm pretty sure they win this first offense, right? They took round 1 offense, which is wild. You say it's wild, but you're gonna see that happen a lot more now, dude. I'm telling you, with the ticks change and the kills change, hypothetically speaking, it shouldn't change how you win like too much. But the thing is, it's like the mental aspect of it of like, yo, we cannot die on this push. We can't be super aggressive. Like we can't go for the kill. Like taking that mentality out of it is really hard. It makes it really hard to win offenses because in order to win offenses on controls without trophies, you really got to go for the kill, right? So like now that you're allowed to go for that, like that killer instinct kind of thing, and like try and win the offense and get ticks. Like ticks are more important than kills. You're gonna see a lot more offenses win or won. Because I'm pretty sure I said it shouldn't change that much from ticks to kills. And like I agree with that, like in like a perfect world, but just the mental side of things really changes how like offenses will get played. How many teams are actually good at Gavutu? I'm pretty sure London's good at. What are you talking about? Hardpoint or control? Yeah, that was well played out of them. That looks so weird because like all this action happens before he flanks. So like, look what happens, dude. Like all this action happens, and then they're like, look at the Boston player. So like, where's the 4th guy? Skirt, and they turn around. You know what I mean? So it's like they just were able to sniff out that flank because all the action happened too quick, like too early. That makes sense. And also for control, I mean, FaZe isn't considered good at Gavutu control in matches. I don't know. Our scrims go well on that map, but we don't get it done right now during the matches. But the last time we played it, we won it, which is good. So we ended Gavutu Control with a win, a very, very shitty win, but we did it. What, right? We beat Ultra in Gavutu Control, and we haven't played it since. But yeah, we have to execute better on that map in matches. But still, there's a couple. London's really good at Gavutu Control. OpTic's good at Gavutu Control. There's probably another team or two that are good at Gavutu Control too. But I don't think you could consider FaZe good at Gavutu Control in matches. But yeah, that's like what I was saying. It's like, just to back it up to what you were like, you know, like right around like here, like hypothetically speaking. Well, hold up. Like in the old control, like you would still see a push for B here with kills, but it's just like the way you push now in control with the mentality of like, yo, lives still matter, but they don't matter as much, and getting 1 tick on B would be a W. Like right now, if you're Boston, getting 1 or 2 ticks on B is fucking huge. So like they're gonna be so much more aggressive on these points. Like that 2-piece out of Capsule, like him pushing by himself and stuff. Like people were so scared to push by themselves before, because if like you were to die and throw your life away, you're a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? But now, since you're not an idiot if you die, like you can still make bad plays, but like the mental of control has changed so much, and like it's just so good to see, like, you know, people being able to make plays, go for like, you know, go for these ticks, and everything's just really good. Like, I don't know. I definitely underrated the mental side of control, like watching it, how it plays out in scrims and just matches and stuff. But you'll see a lot more offensive wins, in my opinion, now because of that. So, and then after they win that first round offense, that means they got 6 ticks. Let's see if you end this defense. Look, like right here, they have 6 ticks to 3 ticks. So you're already up 3 ticks. You're in a really, really good spot if you're Boston Breach. You know what I mean? Because now even if you were to lose this, you're still chilling. You know what I mean? Even if you were to lose this, you're still chilling. And now, like, again, you're still up. You're up 6 ticks right now. The only way... Actually, how does a tiebreaker... I didn't even think about a tiebreaker. Does it go by kills after that? I'm assuming it goes by kills. But the only way you can even fucking... like, force maybe a last round would be if you get all 6. But at the same time, if you're going for all 6 ticks here, you're probably going to lose a lot of kills. So it's just like Boston put themselves in a really good spot with that first offense. But if it goes to kills too, it's like the way they're probably going to win this offense is by, like, you know, being really gritty on the point and trading out kills. And you're not going to be really like valuing your life. And if you're not valuing your life a lot of the times, like you'll have a really good chance of like probably getting outslayed. Of course, that's still not always going to be the case. But yeah, Boston put themselves in a good spot by doing this. But then I'm pretty sure they just win this 3-1, right? Yeah. All right, we can watch the Berlin Hardpoint now, though. Capture the flag. They got rid of capture the flag because capture the flag fucking sucks, Andrew. They haven't made a good capture the flag in years. If they made a good capture the flag, I'd like to play it, but we haven't had a good capture the flag in years. We can talk about that after the series if you'd like, but I can explain why.
Of Boston, who are now pushing on through, now have a little bit of aggression. Can they turn this into a P2 hold as well?
At the moment, it's going to be methods. So influential every single map here for Boston. Eventually will go down. It does look like London get a little bit of brief control here over at P2. Now already Afro trying to push out and gets pretty much guns straight down for it.
Zero will trade that up though, but keep an eye on Capsule flanking around behind.
Domination wasn't bad. Domination was probably the worst game. Domination is probably one of the most uncompetitive game modes like ever. Like in the way it was. I don't know. Domination fucking sucks. I actually think Domination is. I think Blitz is the worst game mode we've ever seen in competitive, and I think Domination is a close second. Back in the day, Domination was a little bit better for sure. Like, you know, like Black Ops 1 Domination was a little bit better. But even that was still shit. whole camping nade spots and sitting in a corner until they get on the flag and throwing your grenade straight up in the air. There's competitiveness to it, like faking and all that, but it's still just a cheesy play style. Hiding from your opponent and letting them get on the flag to get the kill. It's just a cheesy play style.
I'll tell you something, I don't believe there's a player in the CDL right now who slide cancels as cleanly as Afro does.
That was just so well played by London. They find all the kills that they need street side. As soon as Methods falls, you just see the Jenga block of Boston Breach just fall down. Very, very well played by the Royal Ravens. That's a big break to come through. Boston Breach momentarily have rotation of P2.
So London closes this out, right? Like on this map. Because what I was gonna say is like this is really two really good Berlin teams going at it.
Break again. Their breaking prowess has been so good so far in map number 4 here. And they have a lead heading over towards P4.
They do. Afro still alive here at the back. It's going to need some reinforcements at some point, but patience coming in. I think they're looking for him. They're trying to figure out where he is.
This is well played out of Boston right here. You could see that like they know they have the back spawns and they're like, you can have the back spawns. We're just gonna try and like, you know, tighten up here and play from the front. This is good plays out of Boston. They're playing this well. Like you see like Royal like Ravens got like the back here, but like the first 20 goes straight to breach just because of the way they're playing it.
TJ being naded over and over again, but he's still alive. This is a great power position if he can stay alive in it. No, Zero's going to see him and he goes for the challenge as well, and he's still staying alive. There are many Boston.
Fussy, what, bro?
The last one will be Methods. He takes down 2, looking for the third with a pistol, but Zero managed to get it. And the TSL in Boston Breach done a great job of killing the London Royal Ravens. They have not bowed to any of this pressure coming through, and nobody's getting much time off of it. But you don't really expect that out of this half point.
No, you don't, but to be honest, for the Ravens, that's actually not too bad. Complete rotation control came in for the breach.
Bro, Nasty's disgusting in my opinion. I think Nasty's super underrated. I feel like Nasty doesn't get talked about a lot. I think he's a really smart player. I feel like every time I watch Nasty right now, he's playing really smart.
But now Boston, they did momentarily have a really nice setup. London get control though, they should be able to break through.
We've seen some big P5 holds before, but it's not shaping up that way, Ton. Zero just trying to hold fire, not even going for the point at the same point. Nasty just takes down Capsule, gives them a little bit of a shake and shimmy. And TJ, how do you
I think Nasty is nasty. Yeah.
team straight away. Eventually, London should be able to get some points onto this. Boston Breach spawning out.
They have a really good spot, thankfully for them. Nero has broke through. That kill's gonna go Nasty's way. This could be a tough push here for the Breach. 23 seconds remaining. They're obviously thinking about P1. London are ready for it though. They lock it in. This method's gonna be.
So like I didn't watch this map, so I don't know exactly what's gonna happen. I do know London wins this map, obviously. But like this is what we were talking about, like this P5, bro. Like London set up right here to just take over this fucking map right here. Like they're like trapping them in the back here, and like they have like the preferred side of P1. Like this P1 could add another 60 seconds right here to this next hill. I don't know what happens, and this Boston team is very good at P1s usually, but still in general, like if this guy gets this kill, this is a big kill. That's a huge 2-piece. If he doesn't get that 2-piece, that can get really ugly really quick. But even with that 2-piece, like look at this setup right here.
Time and Boston are currently listening.
Back left desk, guys.
Just want to deep this.
You're in the one.
No, there's two.
Okay, nade time.
I'm alley right now. I'm trying to pinch you.
Okay.
One's alley on me.
I did deep.
He is dead.
Let's go. Stun time. I got one.
I got time. I got time. Alley,
Office spot. Office spot.
Okay.
Office does. Nice.
I got front.
Yeah, okay. Flip. Did we flip?
We did. Okay. Trying to go now.
I know we're listening to the listening, but like just to highlight that break, like look how they break this, dude.
You're in the one.
Watch the mini map here.
No, there's two.
Okay, nade time.
I'm alley right now.
I'm trying to pinch you.
Okay. One's alley on me.
I did deep.
This fight right here.
Let's go. Stun time. I got one.
Like that capsule throws that grenade and kills this guy pinch. Like that grenade allowing TJ to pinch and then like Nero able to get that kill was like fucking crazy. Like that nade was actually. Where is Capsule on the map right now? Capsule's #1, so he threw that nade from middle, like middle, threw it over to the pinch, and then he opened it up. Like that nade is huge. Because even if this guy dies, if this guy doesn't die and kills #3, they probably still are able to hold this, or like have a really good attempt to hold it. That was well played.
Nice.
I got front.
Okay. Did we flip?
That was a really good break.
Trying to go now. Nice.
I hit this. Watch me.
Watch
Low P2. Back there.
Back door.
I don't see him.
I think no, they're not innocent.
No, he went deep left. Nasty.
Shit. I
Bro,
got
there's two new.
Back alley pillar.
Nasty is deep left dogs.
leaving you.
Okay, Gizmo's like probably in a spot, and Nasty's deep left dogs.
Is that is fine.
Nice. One was deep left
I
dogs.
don't see any other.
Yeah, be still deep left dogs.
Deep left dogs.
Yep,
Land
amazing.
on the other boxes.
And they did it. I'm with it.
Back door. Laying down behind the box. He's laying down behind the box. Deep to sun.
I'm watching your
I'm
street.
pitching him.
I'm upstairs. Time dead.
He's
Dogs
nice,
dead.
nice.
Time.
He's back left. Back left.
We flip.
Just run up.
Yeah, just try to play life. Just play life.
Free door. Try. He's on attack.
We're pitching. Get close.
Nice. When we top
Pitch
P2 maybe.
P5, go. He's behind you. Take a step. They're pitching P4.
Okay.
Trying to get
P4
that.
after. Low P5.
Could be street.
Yep.
Deep,
Oh, you
deep,
playing?
trays.
Our
Two
side,
there.
Two our stairs.
Spawns flipping left, right, center. Ultimately, it is going to be
Comm sounded fine.
flip the spawns.
I mean, there was nothing too bad. Again, like the comms so far that we've listened to this match, they both sound good.
There are a couple of calls being made that not necessarily correct. You can only call out what you can see. But ultimately, it's Ravens who find the break in eventually. Just about get control. But Boston.
TJ was struggling this game.
towards P3, they couldn't
Yeah, I guess.
get down.
Capsule's not playing well either.
Ravens find the break once again
But like
in
again,
such a fashion.
I just feel like every time we're watching, like I feel like this Boston team's like performing a break. You know what I mean? I feel like this Boston team keeps getting forced into breaking. Like this is the first time I feel like maybe that this time and also that train hill like they weren't breaking right away. It's like I feel like this Boston team was breaking constantly. When you're constantly trying to break, you're not gonna do good most of the time. Like you know someone's probably gonna do pretty bad because they're trying to bait and shit. So it's just like tough.
But they have a lot of players kind of try and do this. Afro already gets a kill. They're trying to get into the corner. No, TJ and Capsule combining to shut it down.
Like you see all these deaths that are happening in London, it's just because they're trying to break. Like you see how hard. Like look, like this is what I'm talking about. Like look at Gizmo. Look at Gizmo right here. This is like what people don't like. People like this isn't a full excuse to do bad, obviously, because you know if you're a good team, you're rotating and you're playing the right way, yada yada yada. But like look at this fight for Gizmo. Like dude, he's got to run into this. He doesn't know if he's left corner, back left corner, triple windows, back window head glitch, close right corner, close fire couch corner, or close corner to the right, right? So it's like he has to enter this hill knowing, like, you're like, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is not a fight. Like, he's 16 and 16. Like, if you're taking constant fights like this, like, even you're getting your freebies, you're probably going to be like -5 or 6 eventually. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not a folks used to do bad, but like people, you like, when I always say this on this podcast, the stats don't tell nearly the full story most of the time. There is a line to that where, you know, you can't just be getting shit on. Trust me. But like, this shit is what I'm talking about. It's like when you're playing Call of Duty like constantly like this, it don't matter how good you are most of the time. Like some people do exceed those expectations. There are a few players in this league that it doesn't matter what the fuck's in front of them. They're probably gonna get a lot of kills because they're just godlike. But like, it's gonna be really, really, really hard to constantly play good. And that's what I was saying. Like this is just a highlight. Like even though like London's winning and they're playing good, like this is kind of what I mean though. Like if you're constantly breaking and you're constantly trying to do it, like someone's gonna have to take this fight a lot more than often. And a lot more than often, he slides in and like, look, he looks left, he looks right. He doesn't know what quarter is. Like he's just trying to find a corner and hopefully check the right one and then get a kill, obviously with like timing. That's like kind of what I mean. Like, it's just like, you're taking a lot of fights like that where it's just hard. Like even Zero gets one, then he has to take another one on. You see what I mean? And then Nasty gets caught sprinting to the hill. Like you see like these fights that like these deaths that like the London players are getting right now. It's like exactly what I mean when like, if you're not playing Call of Duty and putting yourself in advantageous spots, like, you know, I call it like when you're on your heels, like, you know, you're getting pushed back, you're not controlling the game. You take a lot of fights that end up looking like that, and then you end up having a bad game. Of course, again, there's a line to that where there's more to it, you know, to avoid that, to be a better team, to be a better player, so you're not in that position a lot. But that's like why like it's sometimes you see like players struggle and shit. It's not just because like, you know, there's usually more to it. Like even that. Zero is just sprinting at the hill trying to like, you know, perform a break and he dies. Like it's just that's like a good way to like, if you want to, you just kind of just see it from the other side. A lot of people just see the KDs and this thing like, oh, this guy got shit on and can't win gunfights. It's like sometimes that is the case. Don't get me wrong, but there is also more to it. But yeah, Boston finds himself in a pretty good spot here again. Same scenario. This right here. This fight's huge. If number 2 wins that fight, it makes this a lot more doable. But number 8 winning that fight, like look. Now number 8's coming from the pinch. That makes it a lot different. That was a big play at number 8. And then obviously number 7 getting those kills too. That was really well played out of London.
Refuses to let London take any control over this site.
Works out beautifully for London in the end. They will completely flip these spawns the way that they want them. Capsule has found a route through. Can he find the second here on a 0? The challenge is surely going to come in. Maybe for London to help 0 out. Absolutely not. He is going to get traded, but London do a really, really good job. They control over towards train as well as pushing out the back. They then force the spawn for Boston. Brits towards the back for Boston to flip back now. 10 seconds remaining here on this hill. And P5 rotations coming in. Can Boston set up? Well, not if Gizmo finds the head of Nero. Now they can push out.
And like number 6 puts himself, who is it? Nasty.
It's going to be a hard break here for the breach.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
It's like Nasty making this play is like kind of what I was talking about. Like you know, like the London players are in a tough spot. They're gonna be taking harder gunfights right now. But since like you know, like right here is just like perfect. Like it's just this is just perfect. Like this is exactly what I mean. Like him making this play is gonna make sure that London's not taking those hard gunfights consistently. Most likely, obviously, if he gets turned on here and dies, he gets turned on here and dies. I don't know. I didn't watch, but like it's just like this is just like my point. There's a line to it because at the same time you have to be a good enough team to control the pace of the game. Like these hard gunfights that London are taking are about to be bailed out by Nasty because of like where he is from. Like you see how like London doesn't have to take these hard gunfights anymore? It's because Nasty's saying, yo, I have the hill, don't worry, you know? Then he opens this up. He gets this 2-piece. And now he flips his team. Those gunfights don't get like super hard from that warehouse anymore. And it becomes just a little bit better. Like it's just like in general, dude.
Well, up until now, it done absolutely nothing to help his team out. And that's one of those scenarios you find yourself in a good position, but you couldn't find anything with it. It's a 15-point game. Eventually pushes in though.
That was a really good play out of Nasty. Honestly, Nasty might have just fucking won them the game, low key. Do they hold this now? Yeah. Honestly, Nasty just won them the game. That flip leads them to get to this side, and then this side leads them to get to this hill, and this hill leads them to the, like Caster was saying Nasty was doing nothing to help his team. I mean, Nasty just won them the game.
London just doing a phenomenal job keeping breach on the back foot.
Plain and simple. Nasty flipping them leads to this. And again, like we were talking about, like you're struggling. Like look at these gunfights like Zinni and them have to take now. Listen 10 seconds back. What, when he was up here? Here.
On the flank for fire. It's going to be a hard break here for the breach.
Yeah, exactly. That's what Nasty needs to do now. He's got into the perfect position. You need to push out fire. The one thing this will do for London is allow them to get out if he can find something. But at the moment, Boston are punishing them.
Yeah, Nasty hasn't been able to offer absolutely anything here. He's in a good spot, but as soon as he shoots, he will probably be converged on as he's seen from behind. Push is going to start coming in. TJ is below him. Will find the kill. Can London finally find a breakthrough here, though? Because Nasty, well, up until now, had done absolutely nothing to help his team out. And that's one of those scenarios you find yourself in a good position, but he couldn't find anything with it. It's a 15-point game. Eventually, pushes in, though. Has the help from Gizmo. They're clearing them out. Good time on the board here.
Let's go down. And that's huge for them, and they're trying to punish the...
So yeah, skipping forward. Like here, like at this point, this game's like over. Even though like Boston might do a decent job here, they're gonna probably win this rotation, and then like it might, even though it might get mixy, it's just like really hard. Like they're gonna have to hold this like for a fucking full 60, which is just tough. They basically need no points, and that's it. So yeah, there was what's it called? There were some good moments in that match in general. Obviously, and it's like, but like I mean that play out of Nasty right there is huge. Like him doing nothing for his team was him doing everything for his team. Like that won them the game. That was a really good play. Like sometimes those plays make you look stupid. Where if Nasty gets one and then dies, like obviously it sucks. But like those plays are like what you're gonna need to do here and there to have a chance to win matches and shit. Like I don't know. Nasty made a good play there and flipped him. That's all that really comes down to. Hazard, thank you very much for the 12 minutes. I appreciate 12 minutes ago. Holy shit. 18 months. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right. We can go. Well, we're going to skip over my match, but we can just talk about, if you guys want to have any questions about the whole FaZe shit, we can talk about it, but we're just going to skip over it because we didn't really, that wasn't really like an actual match. And then we can talk about this NYSL one. I didn't watch it. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about that series, we can talk about it. If you have any questions about the FaZe shit, obviously, I'm sure you guys want some insight to the whole story. I can give you guys a story of like what happened from our side of things, like just so you guys know like what the fuck was going on. Because obviously, we were expecting to fully play. Like we are like kind of fucking stoked, and then kind of go from that. People on the flank were saying that Boston is in the top 4 team. I disagree. I don't know. I don't put much into the qualifiers. I'm not taking this anything away from Boston when I say that. The reason why I don't is because the way the qualifiers are picked, they're like randomly picked matches. So like some teams can have a harder run than others, and some teams can have an easier run. I don't know what Boston's run is off the top of my head, so I have no fucking idea. The only reason why I'm saying what I'm saying is like, you know, first of all, having a harder run and then losing is an excuse. That just means you're obviously not that good. So it's like, you know, it really like the harder and easier run thing's kind of funny. But at the same time, I see where people are coming from that with like statistical standpoints. I don't put much into the qualifiers in general until the major happens, because the major is the major and it's on LAN and it's a tournament scenario. And if you win the major, you win the major. If you lose the major, you lose the major. Like, I'm not a big fan of power rankings and, well, this team won this many matches in the qualifiers, so they go up here. So instead of being the 3rd best team, they're the 4th best team. Like, I'm not really a fan of that. I kind of just like wait and see like how the matches play out when it matters, and like in actual tournament scenarios. Like, you know, even like using my own team as an example. Well, FaZe was 5-0 in the fucking Major 1 qualifier, so they got to be the best team. And OpTic lost twice, and then they won. It's like, dude, like, it's qualifying matches. You win some, you lose some. Obviously, some teams look hotter than other teams, and some teams look like they're struggling and they want to make a roster change. I understand, like, you know, the whole drama with it. But, like, you can't put, like, too much weight into it until you see it. Like, even if OpTic right now was, like, fucking 2-3, and it looked like they were struggling, like, that doesn't mean, like, you know, like, that doesn't mean they just can't come out and, like, still do it. Like, of course, usually when you're struggling, like, through qualifiers, you end up not doing well in the major. Like, for example, like, if you use, I think Toronto right now is 1-4, 2-3, one of the two, I don't know. It's just, like, they look like they're struggling. So, obviously, they probably are struggling. I get it. But, like, at this, or, like, LA Thieves is 0-5. Like, they look like they're struggling. They're probably struggling, but the whole, like, power rankings to it is just, there's so much things that you can go back and forth with, like, this guy, well, this team had an easier schedule than that team, and that, like, I don't know. Like, it just doesn't really, like, I don't know, just kind of wait until the major comes out. I'm not a big fan of, like, the whole thing. I understand why people talk about it. I'm just not a big fan of the power rankings. Even when my team is first, like, it's not even me being, like, biased, because, like, we might not be considered the best team right now. It's just, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm just not a big fan of it. 11th seed for the major. Who's 11th seed for the major right now? Is it Toronto? Is Toronto 11th seed? Is that what that tiebreaker shit you guys were telling me about? Or no? Ultra? So what? That three-way, 4-way, 6-way, 7-way tie or whatever they were in, they ended up getting 11th. Sheesh, dude. But that's what, yeah, I don't know. Like, just in general, it's just like hard to put weight into that. So, like, going back to the original question of that started my rant with Boston, I think Boston looks incredible right now. I don't even know who they played, but in this general sense, like, if I went back and, like, looked at their matches, they're winning their hard points when they need to. They're playing well when they need to. They're looking good. Like, they're looking up. Like, if they do it at the major, then they'll be considered a top 4 team. You know, it's just, they look like they're on the up and up right now, and they just got to do it when it matters. So, like, I don't know. If you're a Boston fan, like, you'd be fucking stoked. But, like, I don't know, like, you know, in the sense of, like, what's about to happen in the major. But it looks like they're on the way to that. Yeah, it looks like they're good. All right. So, are there any other questions before we go with Boston and them, before we go to the FaZe stuff? It's like, I think they easily have the potential to be top 4 with the qualifying matches. But again, like, you have to do it when it matters the most. Like, you know. So, I definitely think Boston looks really good. But I don't do the whole power ranking things. I just don't really care that much about it. Toronto won the kickoff and now they're 11th seed. Yeah, they're going through it at the moment. Their hard points, Ultra are 2-16 in their last 18 hard points. Yeah, that's you're not going to get the job done if you're 2-16 in hard point. That's for sure. Looks like, yeah, I think Cammy tweeted it out like their teamwork just fucking sucks right now or something. Do y'all think you should have more matches in majors to separate the stage and having so many tiebreakers? I guess like more matches could probably be the answer. Maybe I'm not even sure. I'd have to like really look at it, but I don't know. Not really. What's it called? Not really fucking. You know, it is what it is. Kickoff was a meaningless preseason tournament. Yeah, I mean, it didn't mean much, but still, like, obviously looking decent at the kickoff and then obviously having all the struggles is like kind of shitty. You know, to feel like you're one of the best teams in the world after that kickoff, like you're just playing well, and then you do that. But again, Toronto can easily bring it back, in my opinion. You guys know me. I'm old school. Working through your problems and getting better as a team is extremely possible and extremely doable. And I think for that Toronto team, if they can start winning one of their hard points a series, they would be in a much different position, right? So it's like they just have to really fucking figure it out. And it's definitely doable, but at the same time, maybe like, you know, I don't really know. Like, it's hard to judge teams from the outside looking in because you don't actually know what's going on. You know what I mean? You don't actually know what's going on. If you were LA Thieves coach, what do you think their problem is? I'm not LA Thieves coach, so I don't know. All right. That's all the Boston stuff, right? Do you think Boston could win the major if they play well? Yeah, any team can win a major if they play well, man. All right. Okay, we'll move to the OpTic and FaZe questions for now. Like I said, there's not really much to watch on the match because it wasn't, you know, our team, and like it's just like, and like even if it was like, Preston hasn't really played Call of Duty much this year in the sense of like, you know, he hasn't team scrimmed yet this year once, and then obviously he's played some ranked, but he hasn't even played in a couple weeks because he didn't have a setup with him. So it was obviously we didn't really have much practice with Preston. But he did well. Preston did well. I'll say one thing. I was actually super impressed with the individual. Like, I mean, bro, Prestinni's got a lot of individual talent. You guys heard me say this earlier, I think before the podcast started. Prestinni's got a lot of individual talent. What I hope to see now in the future is Prestinni actually play in the challenger scene and, like, you know, learn the game, get like way better at the game, and like, you know, actually compete again, because I personally think he's way too good not to be competing. And also in a game like this, like, if he learns the games, the spawns, the game plans, like, you know, like how to win, like the whole thing, like if he like really goes like in depth with it, I think this game suits his style of play, of like that really aggressive, like, you know, hill heavy, aggressive fucking sub player that could just be all over you. Like, I think Preston actually would be very good at this game. So I actually hope he does compete, because I think he's way too good right now to not be competing, in my opinion. I think he's really good. So I was happy that he played well individually, because I think that might like give him even more of a fire to play after Major 2. I know you guys are saying it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he plans on playing after Major 2 is over. He plans on coming back to Challengers and like getting back into it. So I'm super excited. And then of course, if he plays more Challengers and he does really well, and if we ever do need him in a match again, he'll like he'll be like fully ready to play. You know what I mean? Which will be dope. So I'm super happy that he did well, for the reason that I think like it's gonna help him with confidence wise when he comes back. I think he's nasty. I just think I hope he finds a good team and like he does well, because he really does, like in the talent sense of the world, he is so good in my opinion. So I hope he keeps doing it. He was on the flank. He said that on the flank. All right, yeah, good. I haven't talked to him since. So that would be pretty fucking dope. But Preston played well as an individual. Which what's it called? Will Preston remain y'all sub? Yeah. He'll remain the sub, and then he'll be on the Challengers team unless he gets a fucking offer or something like that. But I think he's gonna have to play some Challengers matches and like, you know, prove that he's back fully to get that offer again though. I still think it's very possible. So unfortunate, man. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, it sucks that he got sick like that. I'll tell you the story here in a second. But you know, what's it called? If we both win our matches, then we'd play winners round 2. So there's a potential we play each other again still. But yeah, obviously it sucks. So if Simp plays, do your map picks change? Our map picks were done with Simp. We literally everything. I mean, everything was done with Simp. We were warming up with Simp, and then he fucking threw up in the middle of the warm up map, like literally in the middle of a fucking call out, and then. That was, you know, we kind of were like, yeah, maybe you should just like kind of go home. But basically what happened with Simp was yesterday we were stoked, we're all happy, like, you know, playing OpTic, it's a big match, we were excited. Like, the match didn't mean like much in the sense of like do or die for either team for winners bracket, but obviously I'm pretty sure OpTic could have got the first seed, and And obviously, I'm pretty sure we might have been able to sneak a first seed in there. Maybe. I don't think we could have. I'm not too sure. But regardless, like, we might have been able to sneak a first seed in there. Like, you know, it was just like a fucking good-ass match, good practice, best team in the world. Like, you know, the whole thing. And then, like, we were all fucking stoked. And then we show up. We're all fucking happy, you know, everything. And the team speak. I'm in the team speak. I don't live in Atlanta with them. And Chris joins the team speak. And he's just like, listen, I feel like fucking ass. Like, you know, he was like, I just feel like terrible. Like, you can hear it in his voice. But it wasn't like congested or sick, like, you know, like congestion and, you know, like sniffling or fucking coughing or anything. Like, he was just like, bro, I feel like fucking garbage. I've been throwing up all fucking morning. And I was like, damn, bro. Like, you know, we'll go do the vetoes and everything. Let's try and get some rest for now and just like kind of chill until like we can actually play. And so he like walks away after that. And he said he was throwing up like 3 or 4 times, I think, in the morning. And then, you know, we do the vetoes, we get the matches stuff, and then we get like warm-ups ready to go. And we start a Gavutu Hardpoint to like warm up, you know, like to get like a couple maps in before the match starts. And we're doing well. We're up a shit ton of points. We're playing Gavutu really well. You know, things are looking up. He's not really calling out too much. He's not really calling out too much. And then fucking like mid call out, it's like it's about to be like the second part of the rotation. So we're not even halfway through the map yet. And he ended up just fucking throwing up like out of setup. Like, he was like, and then like we were like, yo, are you all right? And then like everyone was like, what the fuck just happened? And then like they're in the facility and they're like, oh shit. And he's like, yeah, I just fucking threw up. I'll be right back. And then I ended the game. And then like, yeah, he couldn't even get through a map yesterday without throwing up. So like, I checked in on him yesterday, and he was still sick and he was still like not feeling well. So he's been like chilling. And then I'm gonna check in on him today because we have scrims today, but I don't know if he is still, like, I haven't talked to him. It's super early. It's 6 a.m. But what's it called? So yeah, he couldn't even make it through a map yesterday. That's the reason why I didn't play. If that was people were asking me if that was like a do or die match, and that match meant like a lot, like in the sense of like if we lost that, we would go to losers. He probably would have 100% played, just because I don't think he would have wanted to sit. And also on top of that, like, we would have been like more, you know, if you want to do this, you can kind of thing. It would have been on him. But since the match didn't really, since the match didn't really like matter that much, and he felt like fucking ass, like it was just more or less like just try and go get some rest and feel better, because we have scrims tomorrow, which is now today, and then we, you know, travel and stuff. Like, we'd rather you be okay to get a good day of scrims in Wednesday for the major than like trying to fucking sit here and throw up in the middle of matches and shit. Like, if he couldn't get through maps, if he was getting through maps and stuff and he was able to hold it down, like, it'd be probably different. He just felt like fucking ass to the point where he couldn't even fucking get through a map without just throwing up everywhere. Which fucking sucks. I don't know exactly. We don't know exactly, like, you know, what he had, but if it's like food poisoning or something, I hope it passes quick and like everything's good. So we're hoping for the best. But I haven't had any updates this morning since it's still super early. So I'll text him probably soon and see how he's feeling. I hope he feels better. But yeah, that was basically the story of what happened. And then after that, we were like, yeah, we should probably just get Preston in here. And then Preston is coming home from the gym and he gets a call. We're like, yo, we're going to need you to play this match like now, probably within the next 5 minutes. We need you to be here now. And he was like, oh shit. And like, he just ran straight to the fucking setup and just got on and played. This shit was funny. Would you guys scrim with Preston if Chris isn't feeling well? No. Unless Chris is not feeling well to the degree that like he's not going to go to the major. If I were to wake up and text Chris and Chris is like, yo, like, I can't go to the major kind of thing. Like, if that was actually a serious possibility, then we would try and teach Preston how to play the game within 2 days. But like, if that's not the case, then probably not. No. Tom said he was subbing in on stream. Yeah, no, I heard he was trolling you guys. Who'd you play in warm-ups? I think we were playing Thieves. But yeah, so that was just basically a story. Can we watch one map of the FaZe series? Him sitting in tower, forgetting what hill it was. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I mean, I'm not watching any of those matches. I mean, dude, Preston rotated to the wrong hill. Like, dude, we were watching with the coaches, and like Preston was playing well, and I was like, oh, you know, Preston's playing good right now. You know, he's doing his thing. And then like the next rotation went, and he went to the wrong hill, and I was like, Preston's rotated to the wrong hill right now. And we all started fucking laughing. We're like, oh, this is yo. And say, hey, you're doing what you can do, bro. It was so funny, dude. Like, being in the moment like that is just like different, obviously, when you haven't played in so long. So Preston did his best. He did good as an individual. Like I said, like once he learns like the game plans and the game like way more, he'll be even like he'll actually be really good at this game in my opinion. That's why I hope he plays in Minnesota. But yeah, watching him rotate to the wrong hill was so fucking funny, dude. We were all giggling. Fucking Alec goes, yeah, you know, he was doing good until that moment. But other than that, yeah, we're chilling. Now we're to hope to scrim today. I'm sure you guys will hear from me tomorrow on stream before I fly out. So I'll tell you how scrims went, if we actually got the scrim or not. We'll kind of see. Do you think it would be beneficial if Preston scrims with you guys, even when Simp feels better or not? No. No sub scrims with their team. The best thing for the best thing for subs in a serious note is to be playing in challengers. So like when they do get called up, they're like at least like, you know, full like, you know, there and like watch scrims when you can. But we're not gonna waste time scrimming with a sub if Chris does feel good. Because then that means we'd have to sit somebody, and you know, like that's just that doesn't make sense. The best thing to do as a sub is to be in challenger, so you're ready when you get called up. A lot of teams would benefit from. Yeah, if Preston plays this game and gets fully back into it, he can easily, in my opinion, be in the league. He's definitely talented enough. Like when Paul like subbed in for London. That's what I mean. Yeah, like so you're very very familiar with the game and stuff. Alec was probably checked out when Preston was playing TTR. Yeah, dude, they were having a good ass time yesterday playing. We were laughing, dude. We were laughing. We were like, hey, dude, you know, we were doing what you could do. And then we went to the wrong hill, and it all went downhill from there. So, you know, good fucking try, boys. Like they were having a good time. That's all that really matters in a situation like that. Because he anchored your spawns back there too when he did it. Oh, it didn't help. Oh, I know. I was watching. He was winning his gunfights though. Yeah, they were smiling. They were having a good time. That's really all you can ask for in that situation is like, you know, just keep the fucking vibes up and fucking go from there. Again, if that was more of a do or die situation, it would have sucked for sure, and it would be a much different thing. Also, I think Chris probably would have just tried to play, but it wasn't. Luckily for us, it wasn't a do or die situation. You tweeting Simp was sick. Won me 500. Got on the OpTic line. Wait, really? That's funny. Did I don't know how sports betting and shit works, but like, does that even change anything if a sub happens? Like, do you get like your money back? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder. I guess not, right? I don't even know how that shit works. If Preston asks, would you help him teach the? I mean, if Preston comes back to the game and shit, and he wants to learn, yeah, he's like as a sub to our team, he can watch our scrims. I would sit down with him on the side and watch scrims and like explain to him like why I think these are the best plays and what the best plays. Like I would do that. I would even watch his own team. I would help Preston's challengers team if I, you know, on my spare time, if I could, you know, if he asked me to. Yeah. If you're a part of Atlanta FaZe, like I'm gonna treat you like a part of the family. You know, like I would try and make some time on the side and figure it out. Even though it's like that challengers team's not mine, I still at the end of the day, if a sub wants me to help them, I want a sub to be... The whole point of being a sub is to eventually like get back in the league. You know what I mean? So, if you ask me, yeah. Warm-ups are just regular scrims, yes. Literally just like... But instead of a regular full scrim where you play every single map, it's just... warm-ups, instead of playing every single map like you do in a regular scrim, warm-ups are just the maps you're about to play. So it's like 2 maps and then you go. You know what I mean? You play 2-3 maps and you go. They suspended bets. Oh, yeah. I would say, I don't know how that shit even works. They took Angels to change the line. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know how that stuff works. I'm not really into that. I don't even know if I'm allowed to be into that, even if I was. And you never know if you'll need him again. Well, yeah. If he, what's it called? If he starts playing like after Minnesota, then I'm not worried for like actual. Like, you know, if we ever actually need him again, I think he'll be ready if he starts playing again. So we'll see. It's more or less just like, yeah, we definitely obviously got lucky in that sense. that wasn't a do or die match. Okay, we can watch this NYSL and Toronto Ultra. I didn't watch a single minute of this because yesterday after our match kind of just went to shit. I was just kind of chilling. Toronto Ultra shows some composure after 3 tough losses. Lockdown map 3. So we're just not gonna talk about. We're not gonna talk about how Toronto is 2-18 in Hardpoint here. I feel like that's the key to victory is win a goddamn Hardpoint. No? I feel like that's the only key to victory here is win a goddamn Hardpoint. You know, like Not even taking a shot at Toronto here. I'm just saying, like, the key to victory is just you have to win a hard point right now. Like, they're just struggling in hard point. That's it. That's my key to victory for that. It sucks, but you know, they're just struggling in hard point. Not even like trying to, you know, kind of came off rude, but it's just like right now they're struggling in hard point. It's like us. It's like, you know, if you get Gavutu control, fucking win a Gavutu control. God damn it. But so New York Subliners keep turning the corner in hardpoint 4-0 with Paul X. Yeah, no, they've been looking better. Paul X 2.2 and SD, and then take the Gavutu 1-6. Yeah. Nice. All right. Here are the vetoes. Toronto gets rid of Bocage and then Tuscan. Why? I wonder why they got rid of Bocage. Am I missing something? Has New York been playing good on Bocage? So Major 2 qualifiers. One second. Oh, okay. So okay, that makes sense then. No, they were 2-0 in Bocage with them, I guess. The only reason why I said why is just because didn't Toronto go up like a shit ton of points on Bocage and choke it? I know New York, or am I remembering wrong? I know New York is 2-0 on Bocage or whatever, so like they've been playing Bocage decent for sure. But didn't Toronto just basically win a Bocage and then they choked it, right? Yeah, I just feel like after them choking that, I don't view that as like a we should veto the map. I don't think that makes sense. Like choking a map just means like you made a few mistakes and like you let it get from, you know, let it slip from your hands, but like you're still playing the map really well. To control the pace of a map like that looks good. Like if they were struggling in hardpoint, the way I view it is like, since they were struggling in hardpoint, they can't really, you know, they can't like close out a hardpoint win. I just figured that since they looked decent at Bocage, even though they choked it, they would still play it. That was kind of why. So I guess they felt like they weren't comfortable on this map against a team that's been playing well on it. That makes sense. And then Berlin, New York was 2-0, so they got Berlin in there, and then they played Gavutu. Don't get me wrong. At the end of the day, Toronto just is struggling in all hardpoints. So like, there's nothing, you know, hindsight vetoes and shit isn't going to change the series. I was just surprised to see that veto, just because I feel like the Toronto team, like, even though they choked that, they didn't look terrible at Bocage the last time they played it. That's the only reason why I was confused. And then searches to get rid of Bocage, Tuscan, and then Gavutu. Okay.
You know, we kind of, you know, for the most part, have been pretty solid for them. Hardpoint, though, Subliners need to get the dub here. If Toronto can find some hardpoint wins, it could be clean for them. But they haven't been able to do that all season, so I don't know if it starts yet.
They certainly have. We kick off though with Paul X, and this has been the difference maker for New York so far. And he's trying to do it again here. It opens up cleanly with a 2-piece straight into P1.
I didn't watch a single match. Who wins? Like, is this go 3-0, 3-1, 3-2? I didn't watch a single minute of this. I just know that Toronto loses. 3-1. Sounds good. Ultra win search. Is this first map close? I want to see if I can watch the turning point. So that's the turning point right there. Okay. All right, we'll watch the turning point. Here we go. As it goes, they start losing the gunfights. See Insight now pushed up over towards the dock side, and we'll be covering the cross on the way to the hardpoint. Not if he gets cut like that, though, by Paul X, and all of a sudden, NYSL can break in. This is a good chance of a haul of points. 3 members of Ultra dead.
They're going to be looking for Bance now as well. They know he's going to go between it, and he is going to get the flip eventually. And once that spawn come in, you saw Bance turn right back around. His job done for now, Bars Fire. But at the moment, it's still New York. So what? New York controls this P5. From the wrong side, which is impressive. Not wrong side, but like, you know. Let's see. These next set of kills are huge.
inside
Hey.
of this now. Neptune, can he continue to find the kills here? That should be a second coming on through. Kleenex is going to go for the challenge. The shots come through. Doesn't need his teammate, who just goes for the bait, and there Bans was as well. But this transition for NYSL is looking good. Let's see if Hydra and Paul can lock this one down. Not quite. Ultra just about get inside, but Paul there and ready to fight.
They're looking for it again, and it's Paul X. It's all Paul X. P1 specialist by the look of it, as he continues to just put Ultra in the dirt.
He's done well.
And I tell you what, Ultra had this rotation. They had the spawns ready for this one, and New York have made them look silly. No points, no time.
Fantastic work by the Subliners, and they're forcing Ultra out. 37 seconds remaining here.
This is just not good for Ultra, dude. Jesus.
Given the third as well, going up against these EU comrades. Comrades, no more though. My goodness me, that's a huge 3 kills. Completely shuts down the push that comes through from Ultra from mid, and that's a free 37 seconds that was on the clock. And if you're Ultra, you've got nowhere near. Rotate for P2 and try and lock that in, because that is a leak of points over towards P1 for NYSL to lock in.
They are now dominating. New York are dominating here. An unbelievable start from
Yeah.
them, and they are putting the pain into Ultra every single time. Ultra just
Both SMGs on Ultra are in the blender this map.
they're so famous for ton.
Yeah.
It really has not been there, but that teamwork, usually the comms is for Toronto Ultra. Let's go for a listening with Toronto Ultra.
Give me rubble. Yeah, they're gonna fight Jim.
Too long, left.
They had a call out called Rubble.
Can you get?
I like that. Rubble.
Hit me broken, someone go up the steps.
That's a long ass word for a call out.
I
Rubble.
have it.
Rubble.
Paul X, absolute two front, two front, watch out, watch out.
Open out.
Stop doors.
Open step.
Stop doors.
Stop doors, Hydra as well.
I just
P5,
absolute male.
P5 as well.
Ultra just aren't winning their ones.
P5 dead. Nice.
Mm.
Bring us back, come on.
Yep.
I don't think that's it.
On the street dead.
Nice, go ahead.
What? Two
Downtown.
spawn. Only two.
Mine from him on time, I'm baiting him. Two.
Nice.
Close.
One more.
Close.
Back with that. One more front door. Weak. Crim on that. I'll play for it.
Get it right here. Let's go. Is he dubstep?
Can't really do much on one shot.
Steps.
Crim's old on me. Crim's
Heavy.
old.
Where'd he go?
I'm in fire.
I don't know. He's in there, challenge me. Just
Criminal. Criminal. I've been stunned.
Fire.
Street on me somewhere. Crim.
In fire behind the
Crim on the
tank.
street. Crim on the street. Weak. He's like
One
a
fire.
twin tank or something.
You two can.
Or a dub tank.
Yep. Fire
Steps.
tank. Fire tank dead.
Oh, absolute, Jamie. He's on time. Absolute. Close right. Nice.
I can try and kill them off
We're
spawn.
looking for one. We're looking for one, ain't we?
They're gonna spawn in the back.
In back already, Jimmy.
In the back. Crim in the back. One shot in the back. Crim.
I can't shot him. Two in the windows. Two back windows.
Got your window,
Crim in
John.
the back dead. Give me a little fire
Windows.
burn. Yep.
Windows
one
coming
shit,
left side.
little fire on me.
Hey, quick.
Wow, a little bit of frustrated comms maybe coming in from Toronto Ultra. Not really able to get anything going here.
I was gonna say definitely
Over and over again, and it's the slave.
Definitely, like, their comms sounded fine in the sense of, like, calmness, like it always does. Like, Toronto always has pretty good comms, but that was, like, probably the first time I feel like they had, like, no direction in their comms. Like, I feel like they usually have a lot more direction in their communication. If you guys agree with what I'm saying there or no? I feel like Toronto normally has some direction of, like, what the fuck they want to do. They just don't. Like,
These are pointless kills, but he was just forcing Ultra away time and time again. This transition over for the NYSL.
like, it didn't seem like there was any directions. Like, their comms are always slow, so I'm not going to say they didn't sound like they had energy. That's just a Toronto thing, and that's actually not a big deal to me. It's more the direction of their comms just seemed, like, so, like, off. Like, it just seemed, like, very rare for Toronto, but, like, it just seemed like there was no, like, plan.
Pushing this far out, they can't even find him here at the moment. Ultra look lost.
I don't know.
Cannot get into P5, cannot get near train, and they just continue to win maybe one.
You guys are saying, like, no one's performing and stuff. Like, this is what we were talking about. So this ends, right? Could we just stop watching this? Jesus Christ. I don't, like, get this off my screen. Fucking... It's like, you guys are saying people aren't performing and stuff, and that's, like, kind of what I was going to before. Like, it just comes down to, like, what you think. Like, you think, in my opinion, don't get me wrong, there is a line to it. Like I said, it's just, like, so hard to not, like, go, like, super in depth with this, because, like, but, like, you know, game plan and controlling hard points and stuff is not, like, you like, that's gonna lead to your, like, it's just, like, you're not gonna perform in the sense most of the time when you're just not, like, in any kind of way, you know what I'm saying? Like, in any kind of way, controlling the game and, like, giving yourselves, like, an actual chance to, like, get kills and go on sprees and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like usually like when you're that far on the different pages and stuff. Like I'm pretty sure Cammy tweeted it. Like he just said like our teamwork is just like shit right now, plain and simple or something. He said something like along those lines. Like when you're not on the same page as a team, like it's gonna be really hard to perform because you can't perform when like in this game specifically, it is so hard to perform if you're not on the same page as a team of like what you want to do and if the game plan is incorrect. You know what I mean? Because if that's the case, like you're gonna just you get thrown in the blender. You get thrown in the blender in this game so much. Like, bro, like, I'm not really defending Toronto when I say this. Like, we'll just use Kleenex because he's fucking double negative in this. But, like, you really think Kleenex just spawned into that map and just got fucking turned on 34 times? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, just, like, lost all his gunfights to the point where he just can't shoot straight. Like, that's not, like, what causes that a lot of the times. Like... You know, like you don't just lose, you know, you don't just like spawn in and just like lose your thumbs. Like every once in a while, you actually do spawn in and just like you can't, like, you know, like your gun skill is just like off. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, bro, I'm fucking off right now. You know, like I can't hit my shots. Like that does happen. But like that doesn't happen consistently. What you guys keep saying, like they're not just winning their ones. Like if you're and like your analysis cannot be like, oh, they're just not winning their ones this year. Like that's not why they were good last year. Like that's not why they were good last year. That's not why any team is good in general. Like winning your ones and shit is important, and those are like bailouts. Like the way I view it is like winning your ones will bail you out here and there, right? Like that will help you out. But to be a consistently good team in a game mode, like whatever it is, like we're gonna talk about Hardpoint, it's not. Oh, we just aren't winning our ones anymore. That doesn't make sense. Like that, like bro, you don't consistently win or you don't consistently find yourselves in a top 3 position at tournaments by just hopefully winning your ones. That's just not, you know what I mean? Like teamwork and game plan and like and controlling the game and putting yourself in advantageous positions and like all what I'm saying is like is what actually makes, you know, like it's actually what it does. Like being on the same page, like especially in this game, dude, like if you're not on the same page, you're just gonna be in the fucking blender. And that's what, like, I mean, that's what you're seeing. Like, you know, that's very surface level analysis for me. Again, I'm obviously not in the best position to give you like crazy in depth, but like I still feel like even at the surface level of what I'm saying, I feel like still like people like, you know, like like there's more to that map than Kleenex just going 15 and 30. So it's just like I don't know.
And now it seems New York have found their golden change.
Remember your jacket from Minnesota? Oh, I got my jacket. Don't worry. I got my jacket.
Hydra, very, very pushed up. If you can find a pick here.
Commit to this bomb and get it down, and Neptune's going to know there's nobody here. Oh, not going to get it, but that will be the first on the board.
So what? Toronto here? Do they just do the typical Toronto? Like they look good in search?
NYSL doing here now.
Look decent in search, right? Were there any crazy rounds here, chat? Is there any rounds you guys want me to highlight? Like any clutches, any cool rounds, any 4v2s, anything? Again, I didn't really get to see this. Or no?
Subliners bring it back. It's an A hit again. This time Ultra have put more bodies towards B, so it works out here for Subliners.
Alexis caused so many problems with that sniper as well.
Paul snipe? Where? Want anything cool? Dance gets a 1v3 at what round? Dance 1v3? What round? Give me a round. It was one of the early rounds? Okay. Going in. Going back. Backing up. He's dead in this round. It's not the first round either, right? No. What about this round? Let's see. Oh, inside almost 1v4 or 1v3s. I think you were literally on it. No, no chance. Am I? No. Well, he almost 1v4s this though, right? Let's watch this. The 2-1 round? Okay. I'll go watch the 2-1 round after. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, dude. Bro, Inside's got a fucking beam, bro. Holy shit. All right, you guys said the 2-1 round, right? Okay, here. All right. Here we go. Oh shit. This is a good fucking play. Bro, there's a, like, so this clutch, like, don't get me wrong, in this situation, watch. So like right here, he gets good timing on Crim and Paul to like see both of them. But like, look how decisive he is there, dude. Like, look at this. He gets one, sees Paul here, and knows like, yo, I'm about to get my ass fucking sniped. So he gets hit marked and shit. Like, obviously it's unfortunate. Like, that definitely does suck in the sense of what happens here. Like Paul, you know, Paul hit markers and whatever. But like, at this moment, like, look at the no hesitation, like no hezzy push here, like where he goes straight to A and catches him off guard. Like, they don't know if he obviously wraps through this way, if he obviously plays his life here, or he's gonna wrap through air, or plays his life through middle. But like, look at this, dude. No hesitation, gone. Like, clutches like this happen, like, consistently clutch players, usually you watch them consistently clutch and like play. Usually it's because they don't hesitate and they just know exactly what they're gonna do, and like they read situations really well. He read the situation so well. Like, watch this. Like, right here, Hydra has no idea if he's gonna like run right out of middle, run right through the spawn, run right through there. So like, he has so much to watch. And like, even here, even if they weren't planning in a 2v1, Ben probably would have turned this corner and caught them at least running to the bomb because he was so fast with it, and then get one kill and then leave himself in a 1v1 too. Like, this was a good play. That was tippable. Lamar does that a lot. Lamar's a good example. People that are usually clutch are usually super decisive, and they don't hesitate a lot. And then like, usually it leads to like plays like that give them clutches where like, you know, situational awareness and shit. That was a really good play at events. And then after this, we can watch the last round that closed it out right here. Let's just watch this last round.
Team just still trying to hold that side down, but 5-3 Ultra. The retakes have been pretty good. Clutch moments have been obviously helping out as well, but look at this from NYSL.
Oh.
Huge two-piece there as well. That was a little bit flat-footed from Ultra. New York have opened up, bring it back to 2 versus 2. Two-piece there as well.
Wait, what is that?
Oh, Neptune, huge two-piece there as well.
What, so Crim was watching middle? That's okay. So Crim's above him. That makes more sense. Okay. Yo, you saw the glare and he left.
I am out of here. Has decided to go for it, and Bans is probably having that conversation now with Insight. Where do we go? What do we do?
Look how aggressive he's getting here because he knows Insight has the sniper. The timing on the Bans. Oh my goodness me. That is rough. Now Paul X left in a 1 versus 2. They know he has the sniper. He pushes forward. Ultra.
All right, GG. They, you know, Toronto looks, you know, Toronto shows some life in their searches. And then what's the control here? Is there anything that crazy happens in this control?
Consolidate. They've managed to get themselves
Towards B. See,
and now looking for this last player. Be Crimnix versus Cammy. And Cammy.
All right, so an offense for New York.
Another rebuff from Ultra.
yeah, they rebuffed them, but look at the map. They've kind of had to drop back a little bit, but they look to try and get a little bit more real estate themselves. That's really what it's been about for Ultra. Pushing up, just making it so there's a couple of different barriers that you're going to get through here, the NYSL. Last game of the online season here for stage 2. Can Ultra turn it around? Their season so far has not been fantastic. The resurgence from the Subliners has been tippable, to say the least. This control is where the game really could balance. Ultra really just having their way with NYSL at the moment, though.
NYSL gets a ticket B, round 3. That gets them round 5. Okay. So round 3, probably a highlight. So here they don't get a tick. Okay. So they go tick, like no tick here. And then does Toronto get a tick here? No. So 2 solid defenses. All right, round 3. Let's watch it from here.
And they may be right. You might be right, Tom. They might be just looking to get as many kills here as possible and make it difficult for New York to get towards B.
Can you break down round and say Ultra lost? What?
NYSL I've only got kind of an idea that they're over there because of the fact that they spawn over towards the green side. Now they know they need to make a push to church. Insight's ready and waiting. Toronto is so good at doing this. They run forward, they manipulate the spawns to their advantage. Still need to find the kills.
All right, so let's see what happens here.
From the Subliners.
So NYSL is going around the back together. They break down the back.
Looking to get control of the back. This is the only thing here for Ultra. They can stay alive as best as they can, but it's a bit of a harder retake for the attacking side if NYSL get in from the back.
Neptune trying to get it, and Paul X does get another one as well. This New York stack is played out. They're looking for it. Cami managed to get the first blood against them again. Crimsix though watching the back. He's been clean the entire way through. Cami cuts him down. And this may not even be a single one here for New York.
Oh, Jesus. Fucking... Someone kill the guy.
Himself, he could try and stay alive. I would have liked to probably seen him grab that first tick for his team. It might be all important.
It might be. Oh, he's not going to have a chance to. That's unfortunate.
Bro.
Much work and well continues to do the work. My goodness, he's still surviving. Where's the rest of his team to help him out? I mean, do they need him at this stage? As eventually Paul will fall. NYSL got a chance here. There's another 3 members go down. If you clean next
How many tears did you shed when FaZe lost? I was actually laughing. Yesterday was funny. Bro. Hold the fuck up, bro. So that's how they got a tick? So like Paul gets really crazy timing right here, right? Paul gets the kill. All right, so that 3-piece is unfortunate. You turn the corner, he was around the corner, and then he jumps you. All right, whatever. What happens after this?
Paul X has done a madness. He's on a 4 streak himself. He could try and stay alive. I would have liked to probably seen him grab that first tick for his team. It might be all important.
So it's a 4v1. It's a 4v1.
It might be. Oh, he's not going to have a chance to. That's unfortunate. He's done so much work and well continues to do the work. My goodness, he's still surviving. Where's the rest of his team to help him out? I mean, do they need him at this stage?
That's just tough, dude. Like, they just don't. They just like leave this guy in their base, and then like they're just like hoping that someone fucking trades the guy, and like they never really like pushed them together. Like even like look at all these kills that Paul gets. That 3-piece is unfortunate, but like look at this, dude.
Paul X does get another one as well. This New York stack is played out. They're looking for it. Cami managed to get the first blood against them again.
So he gets good timing there, then bad timing, good timing. He gets one. Like you got to collapse on this guy and kill him. You got to collapse on this guy and kill him. So like what? Insight. It looks like Insight trusts his teammates to get this kill and like completely gives this up. Because like Kleenex turns the corner and Paul's around the corner, and then Insight's not there to like trade. Like, damn. And this is what gives them last round defense, because they get that 1 tick, and then it goes by ticks, and then they lose. Wow. That's actually pretty fucking wild. They played that pretty bad. Ugh. Like Paul X definitely went God mode for sure. Like you know, typical plays out of Paul X for sure. Like you know, but like at the same time, they pushed that pretty poorly. Like that guy on the B point is an issue, and since like they just kind of like keep trusting someone to kill him instead of just like doing it as a team, and then like since they don't get the kill as a team kind of thing, like that's just rough. That's rough. Paul basically said like, you know, Paul made them fucking pay for the sense of them like not fully going, like they like half-ass committed to kill him every time. And like they kept getting, unfortunately, you know, like definitely not the most winnable gunfights. They could have been pushed better, probably in my opinion too. But it's not even that. It's just like they kept like saying like, yeah, someone will kill him, and then like no one was like getting the job done because like they was like constantly like one-on-ones. And then like, oh dude, Paul definitely played that well as well. Like don't get me wrong, Paul played that really good, but Toronto needed to shut that down. Toronto needed to shut that down. And they don't. That's tough too. Because again, like if you're Ultra, you're struggling in hardpoint, like you need to win that control. You know what I mean? Like it's just tough. Obviously, if they You know, if Inside pushes out there and they trade that 2v1, like, you know, it looks a lot easier, but like it just sucks because like not getting that guy to your base is like rough. And then like, you know, Paul makes really good plays and they just could never get him out. That's fucking insane. I think Toronto's struggles were expected this year. Game faster pace in Cold War. They can't really be as slow and controlled as they were last year. Yeah, it just doesn't look like they're on the same page. It's really, you know, again, we like talked about it like from like the surface level kind of. It's just like what it looks like. Was this a close map? You guys said that Toronto choked this map. Was Toronto choke this?
Still going to spawn in towards the back here. Bance has got a big job to do. Can he cut off the supply of reinforcements that are going to come through? Pollux has done so well to find the kills on the way in sight, and Bance still combining well with.
It's just been an unbelievable side coming out of New York. That was 10 streaks for the two players.
And that 2 gets a 3 big. Okay, we can watch that obviously. Oh, listen in. Hold up, listen. Here you go.
New York Subliners, listen in.
Top ring right now.
Nothing top red. I got one. One more on the hill. Yeah, I'm flying. Okay.
One's
there side, two there side, two there side. They're gonna be
looking for bench.
They're on the tank.
Yeah, one's a tree. Out tree. Cammy blue outer. Yeah, inside. This side. One more tree. They can push. Oh yeah. I like that.
Oh. Ring. No, dark corner. Nice, huge win.
Yeah, once they're right side. I hit one with a nade.
Nade outer.
I'm watching that side.
He's
sitting in the boat. He's inside a bullet. You can push him. Man's rotating.
Yeah.
No, that side.
Oh wait, Vance wants our Ivy. No. Yeah, already. Vance wants our Ivy.
You can fly this kid out. 2 ring.
Nice.
I'm playing for a kill boat.
Yeah.
I don't think there's 2 ring guys.
I'm holding up.
Yo, bunker hit twice.
Okay.
He's top boat. Alright, one's in bunker still. He's in middle of boat.
Bunker came in dead.
Nice.
Yo, one probably pinch.
No, he's dead. I got him.
I'm dead. That's right.
Top boat. Top boat. Our hatch, I'm pretty sure. He's their side now.
Okay.
I'm working through B5. Our hatch a bullet. He's going to top.
He's in between, yo.
He's literally a bullet rush.
I got him.
Nice.
So. I got time.
Middle. Dead. I'm pushing on P5. I'm about P1, okay? Yo, get my info on P5.
I'm looking top green.
Get my info on P5.
I'm trying.
I'm holding P1, okay?
Have you been taking?
I'm waiting. Jump. Close jump. One shot jump.
Well, New York certainly turning up the heat onto Ultra with a fantastic break, by the way, towards boat. They really cleaned them out.
Why is ASIM and NY comms? It's actually funny. I kind of thought the same thing. Someone sounded like ASIM a little bit. Not identical, but someone sounded like similar, no? Didn't that sound similar to ASIM in a little bit? Not like identical, but like I can see why you said that. That's Paul? Yeah, they definitely sound similar. Yeah. All right, so let's see. So now that I was like listening to the comms more than anything else. So like right here, dude. Like right here, this is where like again we talked about it like when you saw like London. Like London was supposed to like, you know, London did a really good job at the P3s and that's why they won versus Boston, right? We were talking about it. Here it's like, bro, you're up 150 to 100 or whatever. Like you have a bad P2. You get 60 here, you're at 210. Obviously 60 is being generous. Or 205, I'm sorry. But like if you get like 40 points here, you're in the driver's seat. You know what I mean? Like what? Like they get flipped here. So they hit scrap. Like it looks like these two challenge scrap time, and then this guy does too. Like let me see. So this guy dies crossing because they have no one new, so we have to cross new. That makes sense. This guy challenges old by himself, and he dies. Now this guy that's pushed out ring has to come back down and help. But now that since they're past Toronto Ultra here on this P2, you see what I mean? They're past this Toronto Ultra team now. Ultra's gonna spawn out. Like this happening just can't happen. You make this mistake against the team A. New York's obviously a hot team right now, right? They're playing well. They're doing good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's good stuff. Like, this is huge. Like, bro, if Toronto wins this next hill and gets 40 points, they probably could win this game. You know what I mean? I don't even know how this game plays out. I haven't watched the fucking map. I'm just, again, surface level breakdown here. Just like looking at it. Like, this engagement has got to be the key engagement that Toronto can't make, right? Like, yeah, dude. Because what happens from here? NYSL almost made a 2-person change the way Neptune's playing. We'll talk about that after. Talk about that after this match. I'll give you my opinion on that. Yeah, like this, like right now, literally the scoreboard should be 195 to fucking, like, to 155. Like, literally, the scoreboard should be completely flip-flopped. Not saying that, like, you know, New York didn't deserve that. New York played that well. Like, New York won their fights and they flipped them. They played good. But, like, Toronto botching that rotation just gives, like, just fucks them so hard, dude. Because now, like, even if they have a really good hill here, again, like what we talked about, say if you hold the back from Toronto here, right? You're going to have to perform the break to win. Like, it's just like, dude. It's like what? Toronto brings it back. Toronto brings it back. Toronto brings it back. Oh, wait, hold up. How the fuck did this happen? They actually pull off, like, the quote-unquote impossible here. Remember, I didn't get to watch this map. Huh. Well, number one just, like, kind of trolled. Like, in the sense, like, he didn't get to watch the outer. That was unfortunate. Not trolled. That was some unfortunate timing. Damn, bro. And they fucked that because too. Yeah, like even here, like, dude, they pull off the impossible here. They pull off the impossible. They all spawn here, and then it looks like they all just challenge. Yeah, they all just like run out and try and get the P5 and like die. They don't challenge. They just like try and run the P5, and then they run the P5. And since like now, since they like lost the spawn points and they, like NYSL's over here, they're gonna spawn back here. And they had like 2 opportunities to really like take this game over. They kind of fucked that P3. And then almost do like the impossible. Sheesh. And then now you're gonna have to try and break this on NYSL, right? Yeah.
From one single front. Kleenex is going to find one. It is SMG in these areas is so enigmatic, but can Hydra get it done with his fists in a pistol?
Oh shit.
People. It's inside to find 2 though. Both teams can still win it here. It's an absolute fire.
Oh shit.
It's New York. He walk away with it though. Bans for the magic. He has to find something, but he's outgunned and outnumbered. And it may be the last potential.
What the hell, kill cam? I'd have to go back and watch the timing. Oh shit, Kleenex. Oh, say it ain't so. No. No way. That's how they end it. I mean, to be fair, they were going to lose that game anyway. They were going to lose this rotation most likely. So it's really Neptune's 3-piece closes it out and secures it. But like, look, even if Neptune dies right there, number 6 is probably fucked. So like, most likely they were losing that game anyway. But damn, Neptune just kind of fucking put the icing on the cake right there with that and said, fuck it, it's over now. But yeah, the reason why I was highlighting like Toronto and like not like in a sense like tipping like New York is not even like New York was playing that well. Like, don't get it twisted. New York was playing that well. They were, you know, making plays when they needed to. Like, Paul went big on that kill, those 2 kills in the cut. And then like, you know, New York went big by flipping him on that P3. Like, New York was playing good Call of Duty. I was just highlighting like Toronto just because they've been struggling and just I wanted to see like how they lose this game. It's like, bro, they just lost the fucking, they you know, they're 25 points away from winning this game, and like those mistakes, dude, just, you know, like those mistakes just can't happen. And when they do, like, it's just kind of tough. Like Like New York, like I was saying, Toronto didn't like necessarily like choke the game, but it's like the mistakes that Toronto are making right now are just killing them. Like, you know, like, and like teams are taking those mistakes and running with them. Like that's why they're losing like close games and stuff. And basically, like what I was gonna say is like a lot of the times you see a team that's struggling in like a game mode or a hard point or whatever it is, like usually it's like the game plan is just not getting. This is like, again, from an outsider's, like I'm not in their camp. I have no idea what the fuck happens in their camp. You know what I mean? I don't know. But usually, like, the game plan just doesn't get followed, or, like, it's not believed in by the team or something. You know, like, something of that kind of sort is, like, leading to, like, those clutch moments where you need to make the right plays in the matches kind of get thrown out the window. Because a lot of the times in those, like, you know, those intense moments, those high-pressure moments, if you don't fully believe in the game plan, usually it gets thrown out the window and you do whatever the fuck you believe in, right? And if you don't have all 4 people on the same page believing in the same game plan, you end up getting a lot of the... You know, you end up getting a lot of, like, you know, those close games not going in your favor because, like, you're not fully there as a team. Does that make sense? Like, that's usually like what ends up happening. I don't know if that's the case here, but it just seems like Toronto is just not on the same page right now. And then you said they show this highlight? Is it right here? Here we go. 1, 2. Oh, that's a nasty head glitch. Honestly, that was a nasty head glitch on that last kill. Kleenex had no chance. He probably shouldn't have challenged that. But still, again, even if Kleenex somehow kills him, they're still losing the game. The game is basically pretty much over. Like, possible, yes, but it's still pretty much over. Since we didn't really do our match, we have some time. I'll take some questions about like the, you know, that match and everything, and just in general, and then we'll obviously call it. But yeah, we'll take some general questions and stuff. And by the way, if I missed any subs, it's just because I have the alerts off during these. But Jordy, Goggin, Keller, Wilson, Voodoo, Shrill Tugboat, and Kool-Aid. Thank you guys so much for the 6 months, the 32 months, the 4 months, the tier 1, the 12 months, the 22 months, and the 12 months. I appreciate you guys. Sorry, I usually obviously I don't have the alerts up there for YouTube's sake and stuff when people are watching it on that, so I sometimes miss the subs, but I do get them always at the end. You're gonna comment on New York subs? Oh, yeah. Someone said like it was crazy that they're gonna make a 2-person change after like the way Neptune's playing. So that's gonna kind of like lead into a lot of questions that you guys are probably asking. It's like, you see how much better Neptune plays with a 1-person roster change? This has nothing to do with Clayster at all. Nothing to do with Clayster. This has everything to do with like how much the mental side and the confidence side and like just the being on the same page as a team side like really goes into your gameplay. Like when the vibe of a team or the mental side of the team is like off and like not there, there's, you know, there's frustration and there's a bunch of shit that like settles in. A lot of the times you don't get the full potential of most players. Like there's very few people. This is again my opinion. You guys might, I know there's the hard asses in the world that disagree, but like, you know, there's very few people in this world that perform to their best of ability in a frustrated, super hostile, super frustrated, super fucking like just negative environment. You know what I mean? Like, even though it's a competition world and everyone's just like, you know, just like fucking suck it up and fucking play, like, you know, the whole hard ass mentality. Like for me, actually, that environment doesn't really bother me. Like as a player myself, like, you know, I can argue. Me and Zuma used to argue all the time. We used to roast the shit out of each other, but at the end of the day, like, we'd end up, you know, like, it wouldn't just like really leak into farther than that. But everyone's a little bit different, and like basically what I'm getting at is like everyone was calling for Neptune to get dropped and all these guys to get dropped, and even Clay or whoever it is. It has nothing to do with Clay. Remember, just like, but then they make a change, they figure it out, and like they kind of reset the mental and they get the confidence back, and like now, like, you know, you see like these players playing to their best of their abilities. Like that happens all the time. Like you've seen that happen in Call of Duty like countless times, like over and over and over again. Like usually what it's called the honeymoon phase. But like what I'm coming to the, you know, what's it called? The way like what I'm coming to now is like you guys are talking about Toronto and you guys are talking about LA Thieves, and like the reason why I'm like kind of saying what I'm saying about New York. It's like I'm a huge believer in this, and you guys know this. I'm like old school. Like everyone in this scene is just so like, you're doing bad, make a roster change. Like, you're doing bad, make a roster change. You're doing bad, make a roster change. Like, you know, you had a bad 2 weeks of Call of Duty, make a roster change. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You make it, get the fuck out of here, make a roster change. Like, that's like how it's usually like viewed. Like, bad 2 weeks or 3 weeks of Call of Duty, like, you're done. And there is a line of what we talk about where if you're not going to qualify for champs and, like, you know, you're like sitting towards like the 8th place side, every once in a while, you're going to have to figure it out, and you can't keep sucking, right? There is a time, it's like a ticking time bomb. Like, you can't just keep sucking to the point where you're not going to make champs, right? Because then even if you do come back towards the end of the year, it doesn't fucking matter. So there is a line to that, but at the same time, like, all it really takes is a reset sometimes of, like, you know, of the team, and like and just like really get down to the bottom of the problems as like a team to like just get better. And like, that doesn't always need a roster change, in my opinion. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just so weird. Like, roster changes usually help that, and you get that honeymoon period. But a lot of the times too, they don't also always fix the issue. Like, this has nothing to do with New York. I don't even know New York in the sense of that. But like, if you end up making a roster change, it might work out for a week or two. But then, like, if you don't get down to the bottom of like the actual issue of what was causing the issues beforehand, and like, you know, being on the same page, or, you know, these players not getting along, or whatever the fuck it was, usually that leaks right back into your gameplay and it happens again. You know what I mean? So like, with the whole Toronto questions that you guys are asking, I'm seeing some people in here saying it. Like, Toronto doesn't need to blow it up and just like throw their roster down the drain because all of a sudden, like, you know, for example, like, hypothetically speaking, you get rid of Kleenex, right? Like, this is all hypotheticals. I don't even know if that's like what people are saying. You get rid of Kleenex. Like, you really want to get rid of one of the most impactful subs right now, just because for a bad 2 weeks of Call of Duty, like, with your team. It's like you want to give him up and like not get a better player. It's like that has a higher potential. Like, it's just like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't make sense. So to my point is like, I think the right environment with the right people, you can easily reset that and like give it another go. Eventually it gets to the point where like they're like, you know, the environment is just too chalked that like you'll never come back from it. Like, where like I don't think like, you know, you'll ever really be able to hash it out and like be good again together. And like, you know, these two guys are just never going to make it work. So you have to get rid of one of them. But like, at the end of the day, like, I really do think that you can actually suck and then get better in this scene. It's very, very possible. Like, I don't know. But at the same time, changes also do kind of just do it. So it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't think Toronto needs to... Toronto's like one step away from being a top 4 team if they start winning their hard points. Granted, they're not winning any of them. But again, like, I think that's resettable and they can figure it out. Again, I'm also biased in the sense that I'm a coach and I believe in getting better and like practicing and working through your differences and the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big believer in that side of the world. So like, I don't think that's it. Like, I don't think Toronto needs to make a change. Like, I think Toronto's one step away from being a fucking incredible team again. Like, that's why like it's just like, I feel like this community is so like, make a change. Like, for no, like, I don't know. Like, I'm a huge believer of that. So like, I don't think Toronto needs to make a change. Are they struggling? Yeah. But like, do they need to make a fucking change? No. Like, I don't know. Oh, Bance is in here. Hello, Ben. Nah, man, roster change. That's what bro, Ben, you guys start taking one of the hard points. You guys are chilling. That's what, yeah, you see, yeah, no, like, so you agree with me. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like unless you're like a last place team that's not going to qualify for champs, like, you're allowed to go through your struggles, dude. Like, it's allowed to happen. Especially when like, with you guys specifically, Ben, I feel like what I'm saying is super doable just because I feel like the team vibe that you guys have and like just the way you guys interact with each other. I don't really know. Again, like, I'm not like in your camp all the time. Obviously, I don't know. But it seems like from the outside looking in, you guys have a very good, like, a good way to fix shit and stuff. So like, I'm fully confident you guys will do that. But that's what I mean. It's like, it just seems so weird that like, that's like everyone's solution where like, there's just so much more to it. Like, you're allowed to struggle and then figure it out and then get back to the bottom of things and like be like, all right, like, we're going to do this and that. Like, I don't know. I've seen it happen in my own career. I've seen it happen with players I've coached. I've seen it happen through other teams. Like, it's super, super doable. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's like a just blow it up kind of thing. As a coach, at what point is giving a team too long to improve? A major or two? It depends on what spot you're in. That's what I'm saying. Like, like for example, if you're like, you know, going down to the point where you're not going to qualify for champs. Like, you got to fucking get moving. You don't have time to figure it out. But like, if you're in Toronto's spot right now, I think you have time to figure it out. Plenty of time. But it depends on also what's going on behind the scenes. If you're not getting, like, if it's really bad behind the scenes, then it's different. But Fan said, I'll be honest, we look good in scrims, maybe top 4 team in scrims, just struggle to get into matches right now, probably from all this talk of us sucking at Hardpoint. But that's exactly like what I was kind of, I don't know if you were here earlier. It's like, yeah, dude, like, if you're looking good in scrims and you're not getting it down in matches, like, there's just little things that are probably causing that. Like, I don't know what they are, but like, there's little things that are probably causing that in your matches where it's just like, you know, 1 or 2 steps away from, you know, being great to like your standards again, right? So it's just like not all the reason to just blow it up. Like, that's like what I feel like people are so overreactive sometimes, where it's like, you guys are just having some things go wrong right now, whether it's, you know, people not agreeing with what you're doing or whatever it is. Also, we have had, yeah, that is true too. You definitely have had some rough luck with the COVID. I know you're a real one though. Appreciate you. Nah, yeah, dude. I mean, I'd be honest with you. If I was sitting there watching your team and I thought you guys just had no fucking shot, I would say it. But like, I really do think that there is a world where you guys are in a really good spot. I don't know where you are on the standings, but you guys are in a good spot right now where you guys got 4th last event and shit. And you guys are doing good. It's like you're struggling at Hardpoint now. It's like you win one of those Hardpoints a series, you're good. Like, I just don't feel like it's that big of a deal. Like, yeah, it sucks to struggle, but like, it's really not like, holy shit, the world is fucking coming crashing down on us like people are acting. I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's just super, super doable to just like suck as a team, figure it out, and then get better as a team. And honestly, that's way more rewarding 90% of the time. And Bance, I hope you fucking test negative for COVID today so you can fly. I really do. I hope I'll fucking send a prayer for you, dude. That you test positive, not positive, that you test negative, fucking, so you can go to the fucking event. I don't want you to like. I hope the fucking this world does not fucking have to deal with like some fucking roster change or some shit just for the event because you can't go. That shit would be fucking whack. But even if you can't fly today though, Ben, you can fly like tomorrow or the next day if you were to test negative, right? You still have some days, right? Because what's today? Monday. Then if you want to fly tomorrow or Wednesday, you can still get in Wednesday or Thursday. Wait, do you guys play Friday because of losers? So you have some time, right? You're chilling. You should be good. Depends on the CDL. Okay. Okay. You should be good though. Yeah, you play Friday. All right, so you got some more time, I think. I think you'll be able to make it work. But yeah, still, I hope you actually get out there. I love your vibes at the event. But yeah, I hope everything goes well for you. But yeah, so that's basically what I was getting at before we were kind of just talking. It's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's very, very doable for teams to like, you know, kind of suck for a little bit and then get better. I've seen even my own team go through it in like in situations. Like, of course, you know, last year, like people, you know, fucking, we had a good year last year, but like, you know, everyone goes through the struggles. I've done it. I've seen it through teams that I've coached. I've seen it through teams that I've been a part of. Like, I've watched, you know, even like back in the day, this is a long time ago now, but like my FaZe team was shit at Hardpoint in World War II. And then we were one of the best Hardpoint teams at champs. And like, we didn't just fucking like, we almost chalked the roster, but we didn't chalk the roster. Like, we ended up like sitting down, figuring it out and being like, this is what we're going to fucking do. And we got on the same page and then we almost won champs. Like, you know, like that's doable. We were getting 11th and 12th and then we got 3rd at champs and like, we looked really good. Like, you can do it. Like, it is doable. The easy way out is not always the answer. And that goes for the same thing. So like, you know, talk about thieves now. You guys want to talk about thieves. So it's like, yeah, there is a line to what I am saying though. There's a line to what I am saying though. Yes, you obviously can also not just be last place. So it's like talking about thieves. Thieves is weird because Thieves is just like, they looked really good. People had them winning Major 1, bro. People had them winning Major 1, talking about how they're the best team in the world, the whole fucking thing, like everything else. And then all of a sudden now they look like they're the worst team ever and they can't beat anybody, yada, yada, yada. Like, in my opinion, again, outside looking in, always take it with a grain of salt. You don't go from looking like you can win an event, even though, again, the qualifiers don't tell the full story because you don't always play the best of the best teams in some of the qualifiers and stuff, you know what I mean? But like, you don't look like you can go from winning an event, or even if it's not winning an event from those qualifying matches, at least getting top 4. You know what I mean? like at least getting top 4. You don't go from that to going 0-5 and looking miserable and just like, you know, that whole thing without a there is something more than just gameplay there. Whether it's confidence, a team vibe, bad practice, like there is something more that is going on than that. Like that is whatever. Like personally, that is just in my opinion what it is. Like I like that team. You don't just spawn in and just forget how to shoot straight. Like the mental side of competition is like the most important thing to me. Like you don't just spawn in and be like, oh, I can't shoot my gun now. I'm fucking ass. Like that doesn't just happen, dude. Like there is so much more. There is so much more to that than, I don't know, in my opinion. Like it's just like I don't know what it is. I'm not like, again, like I'm not a part of the fucking team, but the mental side of things is just really important. As a just think JCap has so much on his plate. Dude needs to focus on respawn and get an SND/Anna host. Yeah. Wait, what was Nade's reply to the JCap stuff? What are you talking about, Durka? Did he tweet it or something? But yeah, for the sense of Cap, like people that are blaming Cap and stuff, like I know like we talk about this all the time, and I'll defend Cap for a very long time because I know Cap very well as a friend and as a person and as a COD player. I will tell you that Cap is one of the best minds in Call of Duty. That's not the only thing that goes into coaching, so I understand criticism when you guys say that. But at the end of the day, like, bro, coaching a team by yourself is one of the hardest things you can ever do. And Nate said if Cap was a bad coach, he would have been gone by now. That's what I mean. Like, bro, like that's like I guess the best way to put it. Like I personally think Cap needs more help, just because like I think coaching by yourself is really a lot more stressful than it seems. And I know there's people that think coaches do absolutely fucking nothing. So okay, but like, well, you know, I don't do anything. I understand that. But like with how much like goes on in the CDL nowadays, like it is really hard to do that. And just like but regardless of getting him help or not help, like in the sense like what Nade said, I guess, about Cap, because you guys are saying that he spoke about it, and like, you know, bro, GMs, CEOs, most of them, I don't know everybody, but my GM and my CEO watch all our scrims. Like, you know, they watch our scrims and like they're super like not hands on. They let me do everything I want to do, like, you know, it's my team, but like they watch and like, you know, they just keep notes. You know, if I was a bad coach, they would tell me. So it's just like, if things are going wrong in a camp, either the players, the management, or the fucking owner, in this regards, Nate Shot, could very easily see if he's a bad coach. It's like it is the most evident thing of all time if you could see someone's not doing their job. Like, it is very, very simple to see if like someone is not doing their job and if they need to go. Like, Cap could be putting all the effort in the fucking world. He could be watching 20 hours of VODs. He could be doing this, that, all this shit, and things aren't going his way. It's like, if you like all people ever, I feel like in the competitive world see is like, if you lose, your coach sucks. Like, you have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. You're acting like Cap just has his feet kicked up on the right side, being like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not the player. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could very easily see, the important people very easily see like how it goes. Like, it's the same thing with players. Like, if a player has a shitty fucking attitude and all scrims are, like, you know, watched and recorded and, like, you could see this shit, like, you could clearly see who's acting like a fucking asshole and who's not. You know what I mean? And it's just, I feel like that's just so simple. So, like, if you think, you know, like, if you want to just put the full blame on Cap, like, you just don't think that everyone else in their camp is just like, yeah, we got to get rid of Cap, and everyone's like, no, we're keeping Cap. Like, that's just, dude, Cap's a great coach. He's doing what he needs to do. Like, it's just tough, you know, like sometimes there's more to the story than that. Like, I don't know. Matt doesn't watch scrims? Yeah, you're right. Matt doesn't do anything. The guy is not in the facility with them when they're scrimming and stuff, not at all. And he's not like really good friends with Cap and doesn't get to watch scrims when he needs to. Bro, if the team is struggling and one of them says like, I think the coach is an issue, and he goes to watch scrims, he doesn't, you think he just like wings it? Like, bro, dude, just because you play fucking, I played Warzone 7 hours a day last year, and I still coached the team. Like, what? That is just. The owners of 100T have zero input on what happens with the team. Oh my god, bro. Jesus Christ. All right. Instead of coin flips, coach do 1v1s, crowd versus cap. I'd smoke his shit, bro. I'm curious why the players are playing. Do they ever go rogue and come up with strats on the fly or stick to the game plan? That's one of my least favorite things as a coach is like when you have a game plan and then like you're watching, you're like, what the fuck is this? That happens. That happens every once in a while. So do you think a roster change is needed? I think they're getting to the point right now where it's getting scary, where if they're not figuring it out yet, it's starting to get scary in the sense where if they can't reset it, like, you know, if they get absolutely bodied at this major and they can't reset it after like maybe the first match or two of the major 3 qualifiers, it's getting scary to the point where it's like, this might not be come back. Like, you might not be able to come back from this. Like, where it's like, I don't know, you know, like it's just, so it's like they can do it, but they're entering scarier territories right now in the sense of like, it doesn't look like they're trying to bounce back at all. And like, and personally, I just think like, you don't go from being as good as they looked to as bad as they look right now without just like honestly, if they're like a mental confidence vibe change or something of the sort. And I think it's super fixable, but it's also easier said than done to fix that. So it's like, if they can't fix that kind of atmosphere that it seems like they have, I think they're entering that territory. Yes. But I still think like they can do it, but they're getting closer. They're getting closer. It's fucking rough. You think anyone will play you guys on Bocage Hardpoint? Yeah, why wouldn't they? Talented team lacking all the confidence. That's what I mean. Like, bro, the mental side of competition is like so underrated. And in esports, I think it's the most underrated thing of all time. I think so much of esports is the mental side of things and confidence. Like, watching a player have confidence and then watching a player like lose his confidence and play with none, like, it is actually wild to see the difference in their gameplay. Like, it's actually fucking crazy. I never even realized that until I became a coach and like watched it happen throughout my coaching career. It's pretty fucking nuts. JCap is the last one in and the first one out. Tells you all. Dude. You guys are so fucking funny, bro. Like Neptune's bounce back. Yeah, he's a good example. Even just like in my coaching, like through players, I've seen crazy fucking differences just in that, like how that goes. Yeah, I think that's it for the podcast. We could keep talking, by the way. I'm not going to end my stream or anything, but I'm gonna end the podcast here. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe. I love all of you guys. Obviously a weird one since we didn't even really get to watch my match because everything that happened with our team, and then I didn't really get to watch too much. So I tried to do my best with honestly little knowledge with the matches this time, just because yesterday was kind of chalk for me. But we'll keep talking obviously off this. But yeah, I think that's a good way to end it. Subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I love all of you guys, and I'll see you guys after the major because there's not another podcast to happen until Major 2 is over.